LeBron James just signed with the Philadelphia 76ers. This is nuts. Hey, it's your boy, Coach Rambilla. I want to dive straight into it. I want to dive straight into the team, how they're going to play, the schemes that they might set up, and just overall what I think the offensive and defensive philosophy can look like and most likely will look like under Nick Nurse, okay? I will probably have future videos detailing specific schemes. Like, I think I want to re-break down his playoff schemes that he had with the Raptors and kind of showcase how crazy this team can be. But overall, I kind of want to just chit-chat about the roster construction and how I believe it can be, like, insane. I'm going to be honest. On paper, they should be the favorites in the East. And I'm not saying this out of recency bias. I'm not saying this out of anything. But when you have a roster like this and you have a roster with a head coach of Nick Nurse and you have a guaranteed, essentially, coach of the damn year every year with LeBron James on the court, it's going to be, like, it's going to be phenomenal. As long as everyone buys in, it's going to be phenomenal. Listen, I wanted to show the tweet. LeBron James, he said, that fool might retire. He was like, I might have actually retired. I knew he wasn't, type shit. You know, me and LeBron, we like this. But, you know, he was saying he really was considering it, and he's doing this because he wants to win a chip. He was doing this because he wants to win a chip. I don't see this as wing chasing because I think this fool is about to lead the damn league in assists this year, as I'll explain in a second. But, yeah, he signed with the 76ers, and he wants to bring another chip, you know, to his legacy. He said, I love you to all the other places. I'm personally a Miami Heat fan and Portland fan, so it's okay. LeBron, I still love you. Yeah. He is not going there. He's going to the 76ers. And let's just get straight into the business, okay? I wrote down here in my notes. I'm pulling up the Bleacher Report article just so you guys can see an actual like visual for what their depth chart is going to look like. But I pulled up everything in my notes, and I just want to talk about it. So they are going to have a lineup of Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron, and Joel Embiid, okay? That is stacked. That is literally stacked. Those are all players that I like. Listen, VJ, unless like I'm knocking on wood, knocking on my desk, he will be an all-star by the time his career is done. That's a guarantee. So this is an entire starting lineup of pure all-stars that actually can fit with each other. The thing is, a lot of problem with these teams that are like stacked on paper is the fit. The fit is usually a terrible fit, but this team is fantastic. The only issue that stands out to me at first is just shooting. But I think when these people have a lot of catch and shoot opportunities and they're all above average three-point shooters, I think the looks are going to be better, therefore the percentages are going to increase, and they have a lot of guys on their bench that are going to help them do that. So that lineup is disgusting, okay? And the thing with LeBron, especially at this age, right, he still can do everything, but it's kind of like the level and athleticism you need to be able to accomplish that over an 82-game season, and he's not going to have to do that, which is phenomenal. LeBron James, of course, like, is the greatest like basketball mind to ever play the game. Listen, I'm a big Jordan guy, but this is a LeBron video. And I think the things he's going to be able to do, especially starting at the power forward position, which I think he's going to start at, is going to be able to start the fast breaks in order to get the ball immediately to VJ, Tyrese, or Jaylen Brown, which are running down the court to create fast opportunities. And he's always going to hit the right man. He's always going to hit the open man in transition without him having to be the one that's running that, right? When you have a player like Luka who needs the ball in his hands, you have to have LeBron James at 40 years old running down the court, which he can be phenomenal at. He is the best Swiss Army knife in the entire league, but that is not what you want him to do at 41 years of age over an 82-game season into the playoffs, okay? So he's not going to have to do that. The main ball handling responsibilities are still going to be between Tyrese, VJ, and Jaylen, right? For actually bringing up the ball down the court, like starting the perimeter offense in that sense. But LeBron James is going to be able to start that fast break, get people running, hit the open man, and create the tempo, create the flow. As well as when they're in those half-court settings, they have someone that's going to set up the playmakers exactly how they need to be set up. I could still see LeBron averaging 20 points, but if I'm going to be honest with you, he's probably going to average like 16 this year. I know it's going to be crazy to say and like crazy to sound like that. I don't think LeBron James is going to average 20 this year, right? But what I do think he's going to do is average at least 10 assists. Like, and I know that sounds a little nuts, but I think it's almost a guarantee. He's going to be the guy that doesn't bring the ball up the floor, but again, gets to that spot. He's going to get Joel Embiid the ball every single mismatch. He's going to get Jaylen Brown the ball every single mismatch. He's going to hit Tyrese and VJ cutting. He's going to be able to find those open threes, find those open looks, right? He's going to be the intermediary to the offense. Like, he's not going to be the main pick and roll guy. I still don't think that's going to be the thing. But he has the capability to get assists from pick and roll, from what I just said, from, again, just handing the ball to Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and Jaylen Brown and letting them get downhill. He will be the person to cause less turnovers for this team because, again, that's also kind of a problem I could see happening. It's just I could see this being a turnover-prone team just with all they are, and they don't have a main point guard. But I think LeBron is almost going to play that role from a point forward type of sense. Not, again, like at 41 years, he's going to be able to just, like, play at his own pace, and things are going to work for him, right? And I think playing at the forward position, which I think he should play, that's going to help him get more rebounds and, again, push the ball forward a little bit better. Because that's not something that Joel Embiid is especially good at. He's something he's capable of. But, again, the less load these players are able to take off of each other, the better. And so I think that offense is going to be insanely free-flowing, and I think it's going to be phenomenal. I'm a little bit even more excited with the defense, too, under Nick Nurse. The way he's going to set up his defenses with the zones, the box and ones, and, like, the blitzing in the playoffs is going to be nuts. And I think he's going to try and get them really set up during the regular season to try and do that. My main fear, to be honest with you, is the fact that you're relying on Embiid's health, mainly from a defensive scheme perspective. Because you have all of these forwards, essentially, and guards that are all switchable, can play defense. Tyrese Maxey needs to get a little bit better, but I think he's going to lock in on the gym, especially once you sign with LeBron. Like, everybody got to play defense because LeBron's old. Like, he's old, bro. He can lock in and play defense, but at the end of the day, he's older. And they have people on this roster that are more than capable of playing elite defense. However, behind Embiid, they don't really have an elite paint presence. They don't have an elite big man in order to, like, help protect the paint, which can be difficult when you're relying on the health of Joel Embiid. I think this team could even win a championship without Joel Embiid, but they wouldn't be my pick. They wouldn't be my favorite. But with a healthy Joel Embiid, not for an 82-game season, but just, again, you need him out there. You need that paint presence because I love Adam Bona and Hawk Porty. Or let me just pull my notes here, too. I love Adam Bona and Hawk Porty, but it's just, like, not my most favorite thing in the entire world, right? And I think those guys are going to be really, really good, important regular season players because they're going to be able to run down the floor, catch those lobs, and do everything. But you need that elite paint presence and that person that draws attention in order to free up everyone, right? Because each of these players are more than capable of scoring 20 every single night, and that's because of the presence they're going to take from each other, and that's because how they're going to play around each other, and that's going to be the same concept on defense as well, right? It's going to be very flowing, and without that proper big, it's got, like, everything's going to funnel the paint, and people are just going to go open shots, right? And so, I don't know, they probably still have a move down the line, probably in the buyout market in order to get another proper big, because I am a very, very big Adam Bona guy, but he's just not that paint presence, in my opinion. Another thing, too, is I think that this team under Nick Nurse is also going to be a very, very fun bench unit, right? Their bench pieces, like the ones that are actually going to get minutes, I put all of them, but the ones that are actually going to get minutes is going to be their rookie LeBron Philon, which I'm a big fan of, Anthony Simons, shout out to my Blazer. Caleb Love, again, shout out to my Blazer. He's not going to get real minutes, but Justin Edwards, I'm also, like, decent fan of. Dean Wade, Barlow, Jabari Walker, Adam Bona, Huck Porty. Caleb Love, Ryan Rupert, and Jabari Walker are not going to get minutes. Probably not Barlow either, realistically. Like, their main rotation, like, throughout the regular season, there's bound to be injuries. But I think this bench unit can be really, really fun because you can have guys like Tyrese Maxey or LeBron James running it completely on their own, as well as Jaylen Brown. Like, you always are going to have effective offense on the starting lineup. Like, there's never going to be a point in time where people are incapable of scoring, which that's just not a thing on most NBA teams. Most NBA teams don't have that, like, because you usually don't have, like, a 5 all-star lineup, right? But this team, I think the only time that can ever happen is if it's just VJ Edgecombe, and even then, his rookie year, he flashed straight potential of being able to, like, deadlift an offense when no one's around him, right? So I think that the bench unit specifically is going to be really exciting, how he's going to probably sub off someone really, really early in order for him to get that bench unit going. For all I know, that could be LeBron. You could get LeBron out there immediately, sub him out, as crazy as that sounds, but then immediately get him back to run that bench unit with VJ, with people that are going to run with him, right? And then kind of get that, like, flowing offense, and everyone's able to get theirs throughout certain periods and times of the game, right? And that's going to obviously make everyone more motivated to play on defense. It's going to make everyone motivated to, want to play less selfishly towards the end of the game because they got theirs, right? And so I think Nick Nurse is going to do a fantastic job of all of that, of all those schemes, defensively and offensively. And I'm very, very excited for this team. I don't have any tape to break down today. Like I said, I think maybe we can go through some Raptors tape in another video. But I just wanted to chat about this. I think this is a very, very exciting team. I don't think you need me to necessarily say that to you. But I kind of wanted to, break down exactly why that is. Because it's easy to just be like, oh, well, this team's stacked. But how these players play off each other and the way it's almost like, in my opinion, it's like a team full of, like, combo guards plus LeBron. You know what I mean? So, like, he has the help that he needs. And at the end of the day, it's just going to be whether or not they lock in and buy into Nick Nurse's schemes. Because I truly, truly think that this team on paper should be the favorite, and it's almost not even close, right? Besides the Knicks, of course. But my only concern with the Knicks is they got rid of a lot of their depth, and so they kind of have the same problem. So I think when it comes to seeding, it's more so going to be a thing of health. I think that when you have kind of some Iron Men like Tyrese, VJ, and Jalen, I think that's kind of what's going to get them through it. Whereas the Knicks' star players are a little bit more prone, not necessarily to injury, but just like overall. I think obviously health to health, probably the Knicks, I would say. But if this team stays completely healthy, there's just no way in hell that they don't get at least to the Western Conference Finals, which is a lot to say. But hey, that's expectations, and as soon as you get LeBron on your team, you kind of have those expectations, right? This team is going to be considered the favorite to go to the finals because I got LeBron on it, right? But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching, and just want to get that little update. If there's anything specifically you want me to break down in a video, just let me know. For sure, I'm going to be doing some Nick Nurse defensive schemes from the 2019 playoffs, and probably just some Braun tape. I think that'd be really fun to do. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Coach Bill will catch you in the next one.